Efficiency is one of those things that feels really simple as a concept, but the more you look into it, the more you realize it's not. Most of us understand efficiency as a relationship between input and output. If something is efficient, that means it generates an output with as little input as possible. It's doing more with less. When we talk about minimizing our input, what we're actually talking about is minimizing waste. And when we talk about our output, we're talking about whether our system is effective, whether it does what it's supposed to do. Input, output, easy peasy. But this video isn't just about the fact that efficiency exists and is important. I want to figure out whether it's a good thing or not. And to help us do that, I want to focus not on efficiency as a whole, but on its two parts, the input and the output, the waste and the effectiveness. So, up first, the input problem. Not to go all, we live in a society, but there are power structures, and those power structures are what determine what counts as wasteful and what doesn't. Some kinds of behaviors are seen as more valuable than others, and anything that isn't valuable is a waste. Traditionally masculine pastimes are useful, traditionally feminine ones are a waste of time. There was some big Twitter drama a couple weeks ago where everyone was up in arms about how long video essays should be. Lots of people were defending long essays, but there was a whole swath of people who thought that any amount of theatrics was a waste of time, and everything should be as short and concise as possible. This is why we have things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Blinkist. 'Cause, yeah, when you want things to be distilled down into their most concise versions, you'll get videos that are only 90 seconds long and books that you can absorb in 15 minutes. But just because something is concise doesn't mean it's good. Playing a song at 2 times speed doesn't make it sound twice as good. Now, that is not to say that there is no such thing as waste, even in artistic and intellectual pursuits. Like, have you seen the Snyder Cut of Justice League? You didn't need that, Zach. And sometimes, video essays are longer than they should be. Please forgive me, fellow video essayists. Long story short, efficiency often looks like inefficiency, because one person's waste is another person's usefulness. But this leads us to our next question. Let's say we minimize waste, real waste, and we're able to actually do the thing that we've been trying to do. We still have to ask, are we sure that thing is worth doing? The other half of the efficiency equation is the issue of effectiveness. When you measure effectiveness based on a faulty goal, you end up incentivizing the wrong things. Sure, you might technically reach that goal, you might technically be effective, but if you are effectively reaching a bad goal, is that still effective? You know the number one indicator of student success in school? Students' home life. Their family's socioeconomic status, how much their parents support them, how much value their parents put on education, how many books they have. So, if the government really cared about raising test scores, if they really wanted the most effective method for increasing student success, you know what they'd do? They'd take all those kids away from their parents. The earlier the better. And they would give them to a state-sponsored family with a perfect, ideal home environment. And the students would finally be able to succeed in school. But Zoe, I hear you say, isn't that kind of extreme? And yeah, it is. You're right. Like, yeah, of course we shouldn't rip children out of their parents' arms at birth so they can get better grades. But that's the point. It is extreme, and we don't do it even though it would be effective. All I'm asking is, why? Where do we draw the line? How much do our students have to go through? How many hoops do they have to jump for us to say enough? When will we decide that just because something is effective, that doesn't mean it's good? When we allow ourselves to be motivated by efficiency, when we allow ourselves to run like a machine or a computer, we lose something fundamental to what it means to be a person. I don't know that any amount of effectiveness, any goal, is worth that. We weren't put on this earth to be efficient. You, watching this, were not born to spend your time as efficiently as possible, being productive and hustling, hashtag on that grind. You were born to stare out windows at the world around you. You were born to connect with other humans, to feel all the things there are to feel, to eat delicious foods and pet puppies and cry at art that makes you sad and laugh with people who bring you joy and just live. You're here for a reason, and that reason has nothing to do with efficiency.